Now, I did mention cod, but I didn't mention cod liver. Okay, now what is cod liver? Cod liver is something you can consume in a can. You can buy it online through Amazon or another way, but they actually sell cod liver in a can versus going to the grocery store trying to find it. You're probably not going to find it. So cod liver is the liver of the cod fish. And cod liver is very unique because out of all the foods, including salmon, cod liver has the most omega-3 fatty acids. And omega-3 is so important right now, not just for your heart, just to drive inflammation down, to counter all the high omega-6 fatty acids from the seed oils, because omega-3 compete for omega-6. And so the majority of the population consumes like 1/3 of their calories seed oils. And so we need a lot more omega-3 to balance that out. And if we're talking about nutrient-dense foods, yes, you have organ meats, you have liver and things like that. A lot of people don't like those, but I can do cod liver. It's like pudding. I like the texture. I like the taste. So there's some unique things about cod liver, okay? First of all, it comes in cod liver oil, which is another thing super high in omega-3, but I wouldn't actually drink the oil or your gallbladder is going to feel very heavy. So I would just eat the cod liver in the oil. But if I were to compare cod liver to salmon, cod liver has a lot more omega-3. And it's fattier too, but the fat that you get is very, very good for your brain, for your nervous system, and for your heart. Several years ago, I did a video on canned products like this. And in my mind, I thought if you heated these foods up like they do, that would destroy the omega-3 fatty acid, that you can still retain omega-3 fatty acids with the heat that they do in the canning process. Number 5, hamburger. Probably is surprising you, right? You're probably thinking hamburger is a junk food, thinking about, well, you go to McDonald's, you buy a hamburger. I'm not talking about that hamburger, okay? That hamburger has meat in it from probably 200 or 300 different sources. The quality's not that great. I'm talking about a grass-fed hamburger. If you can find organic, that would be even better. But grass-fed hamburger is not only easy to digest, but it normally has a little more fat to protein. I would not buy the lean one. I would buy the one that's like an 80-20, a little bit fattier because of this. If you consume lean meat, you're going to raise a little more insulin than if it was more fat with that protein. Same thing with eggs. If you're doing the egg whites without the yolk where the fat is, you're going to have a higher spike in insulin. In fact, out of all the types of protein that you can eat, the protein that is the highest on the insulin scale is whey protein powder because it's super low fat. There's no fat in whey protein. It's just pure protein. So what I recommend is that you consume protein with the fat that normally comes with that protein. So you're not going extra lean or low fat at all. You're going to find when you eat that protein with the fat, it's going to stay in your digestive system a little bit more, and you're going to get more absorption from the amino acids. It's more natural. I consume a lot of hamburger, of course, without the bun. It just makes me feel good. All this data about red meat that people tell you causes cancer, diabetes is utterly ridiculous. It's absolutely not true. In fact, I healed my body on red meat, okay? Red meat, especially from animals that eat grass, is super high quality. It's very bioavailable. Hamburger also has a lot of other things, not to mention the B vitamins, zinc, iron, copper. It also has something called carnosine. And carnosine is like an anti-aging, antioxidant compound that just helps you live longer. Hamburger is also high in creatine. So people buy creatine all the time as a powder to increase their muscle growth. And so when you eat hamburger, you're getting like 350 milligrams per 100 grams. And hamburger will give you the type of iron that is the most bioavailable on earth, right? If you get iron from spinach, you're not going to even get close to the absorption. Number 6, Brazil nuts. I wouldn't recommend consuming a lot, 1 or 2 per day. Brazil nuts have the most selenium of any food on planet Earth. So the next question is, what's so special about selenium? First of all, it can help your thyroid, help T4 convert to T3, the active form of the thyroid hormone. A lot of people with hypothyroidism, not that they don't have enough iodine, it's they don't have enough selenium because it's not very prevalent in the soils. It's not in the foods. This is like the most important part of this entire video. What selenium does for your immune system is mind-blowing. Certain T cells, specifically the T helper cells, cannot work without selenium. If you don't have that high-level control to tell the troops to deliver certain weaponry against certain pathogens, viruses, and cancer, then you're going to be very vulnerable and susceptible to having problems like AIDS, for example. AIDS is a condition where you don't have your immune system. Did you realize there's a huge correlation between selenium deficiency and susceptibility to AIDS. And there's also a lot of data by increasing selenium in improving the complications of AIDS. One of the most common conditions on planet Earth right now, which is autoimmune diseases, and there's a lot of them. Hashimoto's, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, MS. These people with these conditions are suffering from either a selenium deficiency or a vitamin D deficiency. Both of them work hand in hand. A lot of men and women who have low selenium have problems with testosterone. Realize if you're female, testosterone turns into estrogen. The estrogen that you have comes from testosterone. And also selenium protects the ovary to help someone become more fertile. It protects the testicle to be able to make the sperm more mobile. Selenium is also crucial in preventing your hair from falling out. And even think about a very common problem with hair loss, which is alopecia. That's an autoimmune disease. Now, there's a problem with toxicity with selenium if you have like 20 nuts every day for months. So I'm only recommending you do 1 or 2 Brazil nuts every day. Extra virgin olive oil. First of all, it's going to help you extract a lot of the phytonutrients from the salad you put it on. If you're going to use arugula or romaine or leafy greens. The way that you know it's the real extra virgin olive oil is you'll feel a little tickle, biting sensation in the back of your throat. So you really have to just find a good brand that comes from either Spain or Italy or other countries. But I consume a lot of olive oil. It's good for your heart. It's good for your cells. It works as an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. And the phytonutrients are 20 times stronger than green tea. It's also really good for the mitochondria. It's anti-clotting. Realize this, 90% of heart attacks are related to a blood clot, not plaquing. Same thing with the stroke. So extra virgin olive oil is really important to have in your diet.